Billionaires have never had it so good as they do these days. There have never been so many at the same time, and they've never been so wealthy either. But do you know who has it even better? Billionaire kids with their $1 million mansions, monstrous yachts, and ostentatious lifestyles. Imagine how spoiled some of these affluent heirs are. Here's an inside peek into the incredible lives of billionaire kids. Let's get started. At number 7, Blue Ivy Carter. Hip hop's power couple has made history with their music and with plenty of gold to last them for years to come. It seems that Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter Blue Ivy isn't going financially blue anytime soon. With her parents worth over $1.3 billion, 10-year-old Ivy Blue lives the life that most of us can only dream of. Already, Blue Ivy is showing signs of being a pampered little girl since preschool. She had an entourage of multiple nannies, stylists, chefs, and security guards. Yep, some lucky person was paid a full salary to dress a little billionaire kid. Blue Ivy's first birthday cost Beyonce and Jay-Z around $300,000, and her parents also rented out the entire Newsman Park for her second birthday, not to mention that she is free to live in her parents' multi-million-dollar mansions located from California to New York, or relax in the family's $283 million yacht. As for the toys, she has everything a little girl could want, which includes diamond encrusted Barbie dolls and, of course, a little pony of her own. But perhaps the biggest clue that tells us how spoiled she is can be understood from the fact that the family uprooted their lives and moved halfway across the country just so that little Blue Ivy could attend the very best and most exclusive private school, the Center for Early Education in Los Angeles, California. Where there, the tuition costs more than $25,000 a year, and that's a lot for one kid, and so far it seems that the spoiled princess has no plans of slowing down either, with the name already being trademarked and rumors about her planning to launch her own fragrance line in the near future. And who knows how bratty she will become. Number 6 is one of the most well known of all billionaire families and a family who used to be in the White House. It's the Trump family. This list would be incomplete without them because they're certainly the most spoiled show offs here. As the ex president of the United States, the patriarch of the family needs no introduction, and his wealth and influence have only imbued his children with more power than they ever had before. To start off, Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka enjoys a career as a major political advisor, even though she has basically zero expertise, education, or training in the field. Hey, just one of the perks of being a Trump, right? In fact, the entire family has lived ostentatiously even well before the 2016 elections. For one thing, they have the privilege of staying in Donald Trump's many properties. This includes the Winter White House Mar-a-Lago, which is estimated to be costing at least $10 million. Even Donald Trump's youngest son, Barron, lives a more lavish life than we can only dream of. The youngest Trump has $100 million and a two-floor penthouse all to himself, with a breathtaking view of the city skyline. The whole place looks as if it's made of gold, and let's not forget that there is a $15,000 book named Goat, a tribute to Muhammad Ali, in his library. The young Baron also had a mini Mercedes complete with a custom license plate as a kid. So, yeah, it would be an understatement to say that he is spoiled. And on top of all that, Barron also attends the Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School, which costs a whopping $50,000. On the other hand, Trump's elder sons, Don Jr. and Eric, are less into the glitzy stuff, but they also like to show off their wealth in public excessively. Most of the time, they can be found spending their money hunting animals in Africa, with just a single excursion costing them $50,000 per person, from elephants to leopards and, of course, crocodiles. The two men have ensured that their money makes the survival of the species even harder than it already is. At number 5, we have Richard Branson's family. Who doesn't know Richard Branson besides being the proud owner of the Virgin Empire? This guy is also known for his crazy playboy antics back in the day. Today, he is better known for kite surfing with naked models and cameo appearances in movies such as The Casino Royale. As it turns out, his kids also like to live it up just like their dad, and they make sure to enjoy the fruits of his hard work. The family resides on Necker Island in the British Virgin Islands. No big deal, except that it happens to be worth $60 million. Not only that, but it also comes with a glorious yacht for his children, Sam and Holly. Besides that, they also own an underwater aircraft known as Necker Nymph that these spoiled kids can just use to dive underwater and enjoy the view of the ocean from inside it and explore until their heart's content. Now, how else do the Branson kids spend their dad's immense amount of wealth? Well, first, they go on the constant vacations and expensive excursions whenever they want to break from their busy lives. But the most notable instance of their billionaire lifestyle can be seen in the extravagant parties they're throwing almost all the time. In particular, Sam used his father's money to host one of the most luxurious weddings in years. The wedding was hosted on Richard Branson's private game reserve in South Africa. Many prominent celebrities and royalty alike were invited to the 5-day celebration, including Kate Winslet and Brian Cox. They were even asked to spend $20,000 a night as a guest, but yeah, no wonder it was called a neo-royal wedding. At number 4, we have Princess Charlotte and Prince George of Cambridge. Now let's talk about actual princes and princesses because who can be more spoiled than literal royalty? Queen Elizabeth, who died recently, was the world's longest reigning monarch and the head of the world's 5th richest royal family. The British royal family has a combined net worth of $88 billion according to Forbes, while the Queen herself has an estimated personal wealth of $470 million, as well as having the Crown Estate, aka Buckingham Palace. The family owns several lavish properties and ancient decadent castles, including Sandringham in Norfolk and Balmoral in Scotland. So, of course, Prince William and Harry will probably never run out of their vast fortune. As for their children, well, it's obvious that they will inherit an unimaginable amount of wealth. For example, Prince William and Kate Middleton's son, Prince George, is already worth about $4 billion, while his sister, Princess Charlotte, is worth around $3 billion. And who knows, maybe it won't spoil them at all one bit. Number 3, the Gates family. Bill Gates is one of the wealthiest men on earth with a whopping net worth of $114.3 billion, so it only makes sense that his children live a pretty blessed life. Considering that their dad is literally the founder of Microsoft and his 26-year-old daughter, Jennifer Catherine Gates, is the one who benefits the most from her dad's never-ending wealth. For starters, the family owns a lavish mansion worth $121 million in Washington state, which is fitted for a king with the latest technology, an underwater sound setup, and as well as a Tony Stark's computer system in there. Jennifer has full access to a 2,500 square foot gym, a 60-foot swimming pool, a 23-car garage, and a private library with Bill Gates' personal collection. Jennifer is also a prize-winning equestrian and has competed in many show-jumping competitions since the tender age of 8. In fact, her wealthy father bought her $37 million worth of land and built a house in Florida just so Jennifer could indulge in her hobby. The house has a 20-stall barn and even a jumping arena to practice, and so far, Jennifer has put it to good use by competing against the rich daughters of Bruce Springsteen, Steven Spielberg, Michael Bloomberg, and Steve Jobs. With a super expensive hobby, Bill Gates has also shared his plans for his wealth after his death, which are surprisingly noble. Apparently, he will donate most of his money to various charities upon his death, leaving his kids with a tiny portion of his wealth because he wants them to forge their own paths. But let's be honest, Even a minuscule portion of his money is more cash than we will ever see in our own lives. Suffice to say, the Gates family is set for life. At number 2 is Jeff Bezos' family. As the second wealthiest man on the planet, Jeff Bezos has everything in the world that he could ever want, as do his children, although little is known about them since the Amazon CEO prefers to keep their privacy. Apparently, his eldest son Preston attends Princeton University in New Jersey, the same prestigious league institution that both of his parents did. Moreover, the Bezos' children are also said to inherit roughly $50 million apiece from their father, and that's just an initial estimate since Jeff is still expected to add to his massive wealth before he dies. So, who knows how obscenely rich his progeny will be after him. Anyway, how does it feel to be like a Bezos' kid? For starters, the family enjoys holidays in pleasant locations such as Rome and the Caribbean. The family also owns private jets that they use to travel on their vacations. So yeah, they can go anywhere in the world without the hassle of plans. Pretty lucky to be born a Bezos. And finally, at number 1, of course, is Elon Musk's family. When you're the world's richest man with a net worth of over $200 billion, it's given that you and your family would have the most amazing lifestyles possible, and Elon Musk is no different. The multi talented billionaire tech icon is known for running multiple tech companies at the same time, and most of his wealth is tied to his stocks in the EV juggernaut Tesla, which also makes Elon a pretty well off guy. Elon's father was an engineer and the owner of an emerald mine in apartheid South Africa, and his mother was a famous model, so basically he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Eventually, he became a billionaire due to his own ambitions and inventions, and these days he is the global leader in space tourism and self-driving electric cars. But what about his kids? Well, to start off, Elon's blood is pretty long, including his sons Kai, Saxon, Griffin, and Damien, who may one day grow up to take after their genius father. The kids had the privilege of growing up in a lavish $17 million estate in Bel Air. It's a well-known fact that the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla has a strong tendency to buy and sell multi-million-dollar homes. On top of that, the boys are also pretty spoiled because their father literally built his very own private learning institution on the campus of SpaceX where they could get their education. The academy is called Ad Astra, and it's open to gifted children aged 8 to 14. In order to send your kid there, you're going to have to shell out $31,000, and I'm pretty sure only Elon Musk and his billionaire buddies can afford that. Besides that, not much more is known about his children because the family is intensely private and keeps to themselves, and after all, they are still pretty young, so it's better to protect them from the scrutiny of the public eye. So there you have it, folks, the most spoiled kids in the world. Tell me which one of these billionaire kids has it best. Let me know in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed this video, please do help us out by making sure to watch our next video on the top 10 richest people in the world. And as always, make sure you're being the lap of luxury and not sitting in it.